Welcome to the second part of my look into the budget and entry-level handheld from Yaesu, the FT-4XE. On the first video we looked closely at the radio and its features both inside and out. We looked at how many of the components from the Baofeng UV5R are used inside this radio and how they differ in terms of operation. So go and check out that video first, as it should help you a lot if you are looking into getting one of these radios. Now on that video we also looked at programming, and one of the issues I found with programming this radio handheld was the small keypad with my big chubby fingers. So I decided to plunk down and get the proper programming cable here from Martin Lynch & Sons at $12.95 delivered. Now the official Yaesu software for programming these radios is very clunky. And I since found out after playing around that you can actually program this radio from within Chirp. Now it's not officially supported within Chirp, and it gives you plenty of warnings, so you do have to do this at your own peril. However, I found it much easier to program the radio in Chirp and then upload the software and program it back to the radio, just using the Yaesu FT-4XE software for a bit of checking. So let's go to site.
Right, it's a lovely sunny day. Come to site here with the radios. Got the three radios with me today. Got the FT-60. We've got the classic 5R and the FT-4XE. So Mick's back at his place, and he's going to get on the radio, and we're going to do a bit of radio to radio testing, and then perhaps try and get as near as we can to a transmitter, just to see how the front end of this radio holds up next to a powerful FM transmitter. So we'll do all that, so keep watching and see if we can raise Mick. Right, we got Mick back at base on his radio, and we're going to test the FT-4XE first, and let's see how this sounds. G7LNK returning. Yeah, I'm here, Mick. I wonder how
I'm sounding. I'm using the 4X, the FT-4XE, and we're transmitting on full power, so roughly about 4.5 watts to you there, and on this nice spring day, Mick. I wonder how you receive me over.
Yeah, hey Paul, nice strong signal from you, full scale, and the audio quality is, well, I would say is excellent at the moment, and which it normally is from you. So round to you, Paul.
Okay, Mick, G7LNK returning. We'll try it compared
to the UV5R. If you want to keep recording your end, I'll just swap radios.
Compared to the UV5R, if you want to keep recording your end, I'll just swap radios. Right, the UV5R, which was doing about 6-ish watts, so G7LNK returning. Yeah, I'm using the
UV5R now, Mick. Standard UV5R on full power, so roughly about 5.5-6 watts-ish. I wonder how that sounds over.
Yeah, you're still coming quite high on the scale with me.
But there is a definite difference between the audio quality. The Yaesu was more like a BBC quality, and this is quite a bit below that, to be honest. It's fully readable, don't get me wrong, but there is a difference. G0LDB.
G7LNK, I suppose I should say portable returning. Okay.
Okay, Mick, thanks for that. So I'm a bit Channel 5, yeah? A bit analogue Channel 5 compared to the BBC. Perhaps we shouldn't be holding the BBC up as a bastion of performance these days anyway, but there you go, that's a story for another day. Okay, I'll try the FT-60, give us a second, and we'll see how that compares.
Right, let's try the FT-60. G7LNK returning with the FT-60.
I will have to turn that Roger beep off when I find out how to do it. And I wonder how this sounds in comparison. There's no wind today. It's a perfect day for testing radios today because there's literally no wind. So I wonder how I'm sounding with you there, mate.
Yeah, perfect quality audio coming through.
Quality audio coming through, and loud. So you'll see when you play back the video the difference. There is a difference between the three. The first one and the third one, very good audio indeed. But the one in the middle is not quite up to the mark, but still good. I'm not knocking it because it's still good audio on that one as well. G0LDB.
Right, well that was a good test. Let's go over to the site B, which is about 6 miles away from Mick, and we'll try the radios there.
Before we got to site, we stopped off at a local FM broadcast transmitter site where there's some fairly strong adjacent signals to check the front end of both of the radios. All three of the radios in fact performed admirably here, with Mick on the lowest power setting back at base. There was no problems with the front end being desensitised on either the UV5R or the FT-40XE. I suppose a little bit of extra power locally, perhaps back in the shack at some time, might check these front ends and with a little bit more vigour, but they both seem to perform well out in the field, and let's be honest, that's what really matters for most people, that the fact that you can use them without any problems out in the field. Okay, so let's go to location B and back round to me.
Right, we're at location B. Let's give Mick a shout and we'll do a quick test with these three radios from this nice and sunny location. Let's try Mick with the FT-4X at location B. This is G7LNK portable testing the Yaesu.
The Yaesu FT-4X at location B, approximately 6 miles with Mick G0LDB back at base. I wonder how you copying me there, Mick.
Trying for, that's on the Yaesu again, isn't it? So, and funny enough, you must have been moving about before, because your signal on that one, you must have been stood dead still. It was constant in one place, but not very high on the scale, I must admit. G0LDB, but good audio.
Right, got the UV5R. This is G7LNK portable testing the
UV5R at location B, approximately 6 miles with Mick G0LDB back at base. Testing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. How copy, Mick?
Yeah, very good, Paul. Quite high on the scale, actually. But is that the one that's a bit higher in wattage? I can't remember. But the audio is good as well, so that's fine. Oh dear, G0LDB.
Yeah, G7LNK returning. I'd have to say the receive is a little bit better as well on this than it was on the Yaesu, but I think it may be down to the antenna. I think this isn't a bad little antenna on this.
I think this isn't a bad little antenna on this UV5R. Funnily enough, they do vary quite a lot. So I think perhaps I'd have to screw on another antenna to get and swap it between the two to get a really good test of it. Go ahead.
Right, FT-60. This is G7LNK with the FT-60 at location
B. Testing with Mick G0LDB back at base. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. How copy me, Mick?
Excellent audio from, that's the 60, isn't it? And a lot louder as well than the 4X. But signal strength is only about halfway up the scale, but still very, very good and readable. I do like that. G0LDB.
Hey, well, I suppose that's to be expected. Again, the receive probably better on the UV5R than the FT-60. Interesting. So, yeah, something to think about, isn't it? The FT-60 obviously a much better radio than the 5R, but still, yeah, the 5R is performing quite well there, quite well indeed. So, yeah, not to be sneezed at, I suppose, but there are other aspects to the radio, not just the power. So I'll knock this off, and I might have to move now because there's a tractor coming, Mick.
Yeah, all copied, Paul.
Right, okay. Well, I think that was a pretty good test of this little radio, and yeah, not a great deal to choose between this and the UV5R in terms of performance, so it seems, out in the field. Like I say, a lot can be the antenna on these cheaper radios, and there's a lot of variation I find with these affordable Chinese radios between the antennas. So I think perhaps a test with a fixed quality antenna next time may be in order. But it's also important to test these things as they come out of the box, because of course that's what people are buying, and also people that are purchasing radios on a budget might not necessarily have the budget for a quality antenna for it anyway. So overall, I think it's a cracking little radio. I do understand if it's still out of the price range of some people, and that the 5R is their only entry into the hobby, so you can't go too far wrong with that. But if you want a brand name and you want the support of a brand name, because that is also something that's particularly lacking with the cheaper radios. So if you want the support, the proper warranty for the full year, it's also a radio that's obviously supported worldwide. And you shouldn't have any problems. If you have any issues with the radios, just contact the local dealer that you got it from, and you've at least got that year knowing that you're going to have some backup there. And at $64.95, it's a very good option. What I do also like about it is it's a really good shirt pocket radio, even with the belt clip on the back. I took it out hiking the other day and hardly knew it was even in there. So it's diminutive size, pays advantages there. So yeah, I can thoroughly recommend this little radio, not just for starters to the hobby, but for also people that have been in the hobby a little while, as well as it's a fairly affordable radio, and it also has all the brand name that you associate with the quality of a Yaesu anyway, and it seems to perform quite well. So anyway, I've rattled on for far too long. Thanks again to Mick for helping me today. We had a few fun and games getting going in the end, and there was some slow scan TV settings that were playing with us there. So yeah, we had to do a bit of messing around, but we got there in the end. So if you have been, thanks ever so much for watching, and we'll catch you on the next one. Take care.